Hey there, stars! Tiv here, and it's really been a hot minute now, hasn't it? Now, this video was originally intended to come out like mid-July, but then my PC kinda broke. So I feel like we've both been kept waiting for far too long. It's finally time to take a look at one of the most magnificent Autobots of all time, Earthrise Skylynx. So, we've had enough dilly-dallying. Let's dive right in on this spectacular specimen spot mode aesthetics. So just to start, I still absolutely adore Skylynx's standard robot mode dragon bird dragon mode thing. Just has such a vibe and really speaks to the sort of non-standard shapes and frames the Transformer can have while still being a fully intelligent sapient person. I really enjoy the greebling details and the specific fonts and logos showing that this is an officially licensed fictional NASA space shuttle. The teeth design and colors are all over extremely appealing, giving a heroic vibe to the character despite his monstrous appearance. So let's go ahead and move on to our Magnificent Predator's posability in this form. His neck has some major articulation, supported by a couple of ratchety, clicky bits here and there, and it almost feels akin to a Monster Arts tail, albeit with more support. His mouth opens really well, the legs have basically all the motion and support you'd expect of a quadruped mammal, which does very much make sense when you consider. The tail posability is also pretty stellar for what it is. And finally, I can't help but find his wing posability massively expressive. Blast effect compatibility is also really great with the fire breath from his mouth. Now for a quick size comparison, only gonna really compare him in bot mode. Here's Skylynx with a burger, a Marvel Legends figure, specifically Iron Man, me, a bigger deluxe class figure, a can of lemonade, and a smaller deluxe class figure. Now, I suppose we do have to move on to the Duocon transforming aspect, which is cool and all, but it's my least favorite aspect of Skylynx, if I'm entirely honest. Now, aesthetically, the Lynx half of Skylynx is a much more complete look than the bird half on its own. Actually kind of reminds me of the lightning spikes from Zoids. The Lynx head design is solid, but I never display this half by itself. The split is part of the display for these modes. Meanwhile, the bird mode doesn't feel like a complete unit on its own aesthetically at all. It feels like it needs some upper claws or front talons or something or the like as well. And the wing and fuselage shape does not support it standing on its own. And when it comes to articulation, I would like to say that they each have half of Skylynx's full articulation, but really, while the Lynx is still incredibly functional on its own, the bird mode just can barely stand up, let alone pose at all. So before we move on, I have to say that the separate Duocon functions of Skylynx, it's not executed upon well, which, when there's so much more that is executed upon well, including a surprise towards the end, it's something I'm relatively capable of forgiving. Now, moving on to the vehicle mode transformation.
biggest monster of them all. See Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Incredible Titan of Terror. Wiping out a city of 6 million in a holocaust of flames. Yet flames cannot destroy it. Bombs cannot kill it. All modern weapons fail. Is this the end of our civilization? Can the scientists of the world find a way to stop this creature? Or the answer, see Godzilla, King of the Monsters. You may wish to deny it, but your eyes tell you it's true. A tale to stun the mind. More fantastic than any ever written by Jules Verne. More terrifying than any ever shown on the screen. Awesome. Incredible. Unbelievable. A story beyond your wildest dreams. Dynamic violence. Savage action. Spectacular thrill. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Fantastic beyond comprehension. Gripping. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Alive, surging up from the depths of the sea on a tidal wave of terror to wreak vengeance on mankind. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. It's alive. A gigantic beast. Stalking the earth, crushing all before it. In a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror. Raging through the streets on a rampage of total destruction.
Now I love the shuttle mode. It's absolutely fantastic, but the booster setup and weapons platform, you pretty much have to view it through a slightly sci-fi lens. And I can do that, but that might be an issue for some others. Together they make a fun sci-fi-ish design, exactly the way it was in the 80s, so I'm not that bugged, even if it does honestly feel kinda silly in hindsight. Now, in the past, I've skipped the base modes, but let's go ahead and watch the transformation into base mode for this big guy. Now, the thing with this base mode is, I actually really love it. The launch-based look is a really solid one, and I love making this a centerpiece to base builds with my weaponizers and prime trailers. It's got that perfect amount of interactivity, whether it be other small-scale figures, Micromasters, or more legend-scale Transformers. I honestly simply adore them. So, one might wonder, for the second ever Commander class figure, does Skylynx hold up? Honestly, I really do think he does. If you can get your hands on a Skylynx, I can't recommend him more. I love this big silly mecha dragon. I feel like Skylynx really does, like, tickle that itch when you're looking for slightly more mecha tropes in design when it comes to Transformers. Everyone needs a Skylynx in their home. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Go ahead and talk about Earthrise Skylynx down in the comments. And if you have differing opinions, go ahead and voice them. I'd love to discuss down there. I've been Tiv, and I am signing out. Stars, Tiv here, and really well. The legs have basically all the motion and even despite the ratchets, motion and support you'd expect of a quadruped mammal. But the launch base look is a really solid one, and I love making this a center